Hey man, this is Cozmo. Super excited to have you if you're watching. This is my fantasy football podcast, episode 2, man. Excited to put this out, man. I've been thinking about it all weekend. What am I going to talk about? What storylines are we going to follow? Honestly, man, I just really want to hop straight into it, man. I made a bunch of picks this past weekend, and I want to go through them. I made 9 correct picks, a little bit over 50%. Can't be mad at that. I did lose a little bit of money gambling this weekend, but we're not going to talk about that, okay? We are going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about that after we talk about our picks, because I feel like these are important here. Cowboys, Eagles, man. Cowboys got to step up. They looked great, don't get me wrong, but the Eagles, they looked like a way better team here. I don't think the score really reflects this game. I think that if CD comes in clutch and does his thing, they could have taken out a divisional opponent here. They could have done the same thing that the Chargers did to the Chiefs. This was an upset in basically right there for them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Eagles probably could have scored 40 points, but the Cowboys held them and they had to score when they should have. And that's kind of the same criticism I have for the Chiefs, man. And I chose the Chiefs to cover here. They didn't do much. I mean, obviously Xavier Worthy throws the game plan out the window, but Chargers just played a better ball game. I mean, I watched it on NFL Pro Plus. I mean, I watched every snap. Chargers, they just look like a better team, man. They're breaking on the ball. They're moving around. They're getting it out there. And I did a breakdown on it, man. I talked about they're doing, 81% motion before the snap. Man, the Chiefs can't even hike the ball right. Jawan Taylor is a yard in the backfield when Patrick Mahomes is about to get the ball. I mean, as a Chiefs fan, I'm a little upset. I mean, we're obviously going to get there. It's week 1, yada, yada, yada. But it's like we got to put it together, man. We can't get embarrassed, like, compared to the Eagles. Like, the Eagles at least closed out. They didn't cover. They closed out, though. Win doesn't matter. I mean, spread doesn't matter. The win matters. But I got both picks wrong here. Kind of upset about that, too. Buccaneers, though. Knew this one would hit. Thought it'd be a little more than actually the 3 points. I thought it'd be more of like a 10-point game. I love the Buccaneers, man. They're an NFC threat. But obviously the Falcons are too, man. Penix was putting together a good game, making the Falcons look good. Obviously you got Bijan in the backfield. They're putting it together. Defense looked good. I think that's kind of what held the Buccaneers down. Usually the Buccaneers are just tossing it up there. Baker just loves to sling it. Bengals, Browns, Bengals, man. I'm a Bengals hater. I mean, you see what I'm wearing, but I felt like they could have for sure covered this game. I mean, you're playing the Browns, man. I mean, that's different than playing the Cowboys or the Chargers. Those teams have done something, man. This is the Browns. Come on. Joe Burrow, you got to do something, man. It was weird, too. I call this the old Bengal flipperoo. You think that when they only pay their offensive players for 8 months and then wait to play their only defensive player, the offensive players would do pretty well since they paid them. No. The defensive players are the only people that did anything here. That was the reason why the Browns lost. They kept them down. I mean, the Browns almost won. I mean, right at the end, they had it. It was in the bag, but the Bengals got to close out. Joe Burrow has to be better. That's period, point blank. Other than that, man, I got to say the same thing about Tua here on the Dolphins, man. Tua looked like crap. Danny Dimes looked like a superior quarterback to Tua, which, that's kind of crazy to say. I mean, obviously he's got a great organization around him, but the Dolphins do too, man. They're historic, and the Colts, they haven't won a home game in 12 years, and the Dolphins are just like, or they haven't won a season opener in 12 years, and the Dolphins are like, here you go, I'll give you a 25-point win. You can take this one. Jaguars, Panthers. Jags took this one by storm. Knew that was going to happen. Hey, my lock on the Raiders. This was a good pick right here. I was in on this one for sure. I feel like the Patriots just aren't a great team. And then the AFC West, man, we're kicking this year, okay? The boys are coming together. Pete Carroll, oldest head coach to ever win a football game. Boom. Give him some money. Or NFL football game. But give him some money. Pay the guy. He's a good head coach. Going down here, man. Saints, I gave them a little too much credit. They were only about 2 points from covering. But the Cardinals just looked like a good team here. I mean, Kyler can obviously do a little bit better than his, interceptions, but I think the Saints can also do better too. They're just struggling offensively, man. Steelers Jets here, man. Ooh, this was a good game. We're getting into the good ones, folks. Steelers Jets. I felt like this one was kind of like the Bills, Ravens, kind of like the Bears and the Vikings. This one got serious real early though. This one was a little different than the other two where they came back. This one was just a boom, 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 boom fight the whole way. And I really liked this game, man. And I thought the Steelers would cover 2 points away from it. But, Jets put on a hell of a performance. I'm going to give some credit to the Jets, man. I got Justin Fields on one of my pickups down here, actually. Over here. We got the Commanders Giants. Obviously, the Commanders were going to take that. You probably could have given them 9.5, and I would have taken it. Broncos Titans. Ooh, I was talking about the AFC West being strong. Broncos are supposed to be the number 2 team. Chiefs are supposed to be 1. Broncos are supposed to be number 2. Actually, some people are saying Broncos are supposed to be number 1. But here they are, barely beating the Tennessee Titans, who are, name 10 offense, or not 10 offensive players. Name 3 offensive players for the Tennessee Titans. I wish you could. 7.5 points, though, they cover. Give it to them. 49ers, Seahawks, -2.5. You got to get the 49ers here. Weeks to come, I'd be weary. Brock Purdy, they came out today talking about he's not that healthy. Kittle, he's busted up. He's old. You got to be wary on them. Seahawks, though, Cup, they weren't phenomenal. I just feel like Geno isn't just like the right quarterback for them. And obviously they couldn't get a run game going. So that was a struggle too. I got Kenneth Walker in one of my fantasy leagues. I think he put up like 6 points. He had like 40 yards. It's pitiful. Lions Packers. This one was exciting, but the Packers were just dominant, and that's why it was exciting. I love seeing the Packers move like that, man. Being an AFC fan, it's cool to see like an NFC team like the Packers just kind of coming out and beating this. Like, I mean, they kind of beat the snot out of them. And I just like to see that, especially because the Lions are supposed to be a hard-nosed team. I mean, I even got their defense in one of my leagues. Packers, very, very impressive. They're a threat this year. We got the Rams and the Texans. Rams, that was a for sure lock. That was nice. I feel like this was a cool game. Big defensive battle. I was watching a little bit of it, kind of in the quad box, and it was a good game. Not a lot of scoring, but it was a lot of change of possession and driving, and if you enjoy football, you enjoy that. But this game right here, obviously this one was exciting. It took me like 3 hours to cook dinner because I was trying to watch this and cook at the same time. 'Tis the season, but I'm glad I had Ravens 1.5 and not like 2, obviously. But Ravens 1.5 was a good lock. I thought it was going to be Ravens 10 because I wasn't really thinking the Bills would do that. And I mean, Ravens were up, granted 15 with 4 minutes left, but football, man, you can come back. You got to be careful about that. Vikings, Bears, Vikings, JJ McCarthy really figured it out, man. Give him some credit here. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, they looked good, but I mean, Caleb is an athlete. That's undeniable. He looks good when he's on the field, but they're just not. I just don't see the output. Like you see it in Minnesota when JJ's running when JJ is like really giving it to Justin Jefferson. That's cool. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, JJ to JJ. I like that. But here we are, 9 correct picks this week. Moving on to my bets real quick. Let's hop over. Do a little Pat Mahomes Giphy. Total for the weekend, I have about $463 placed on future bets. This includes Chiefs Super Bowl plus 800, Chiefs AFC Championship 400, Chiefs AFC West at plus 260, Chiefs over 7.5 win at plus at minus 140. And so that 460 could pay out to be 1,034 through those miscellaneous bets. Those are on the season bets. That sounds good, but I'm gonna get into and I did that for a reason. I'm gonna get into stuff that hurt me this week. I lost about $160. What I'm not mad about is that this is money that I've had in my betting accounts since last season, but that doesn't mean that it's not real money. I mean, it obviously sucks to lose a bunch of money, but the only bets that I actually won this weekend were my Mizzou and KU, which is a college football game, and that's because I'm a Mizzou fan, and I won Tampa Atlanta, I won Rams at Houston, and I won a bunch of prize picks. A lot of people say prize picks isn't the best way to bet, but I feel like I've got a good lock here. I like kickers over 8.5 fantasy points, especially good kickers, teams that you think are going to score a lot of points, like the Ravens, like the Bills, like the Chiefs, like the Eagles. Packers are a great example. Commanders are a great example. You take these kickers over 8.5 fantasy points, man. I mean, just a couple field goals and a couple extra points, and they're teetering on the edge right there. If you can find them at 7.5 point, take that lock all the time. I love it right there. Won about $30 there. That's the only thing I'm proud of this week. Other than that, man, open bets, I have this week. I've made a couple picks already. I'm not going to disclose who because that's going to be in my Thursday podcast. I want you guys to tune in on Thursday for my picks and who I pick up on waivers, actually, because waivers aren't even available, man. It is still Monday night. I'm recording this. It's 11:56 right now, so it's still Monday. I'm recording this for you all, and I'm gonna go over all that on Thursday. But to see how much I have in here, I have about $28 to pay out about $24 to pay out 40 in my picks already. So we're gonna go through that on Thursday. To go through my fantasy teams this week, man, we're talking about a tough week betting. How about fantasy football? Let's open up with a good one for some positivity. I won my big money league. I love to see this. This is very important. I feel like these wins are actually, to me, like these mean the most. The other two leagues, I mean, the payout isn't even the buy-in for this league. So this one's the big one. It's good to win by a couple points, but we're going to have to figure something out about Brock Bowers. It's okay. Zay Flowers really is doing it for Baltimore. If he's going to be the number one Baltimore, I can take that. I love that. I'm glad I drafted him. Bill Krogsky from Washington, touchdown, 80 yards. We like that. CJ Stroud, I am going to keep him on my bench. I know he didn't do a lot of output, but in this league, there's a transaction fee, and I'm just going to let CJ cook. I'm going to maybe see if Nico can get back healthy, and we'll see where we go from there. Brock Bowers, though, he might go. If his knee is bad, it says right here they downplay the knee issue. However, I watched it, and he couldn't run a corner. Like, he couldn't turn when he was running. And someone who's torn 2 of their ACLs, I know exactly what that means. That means you tore your meniscus too, and I tore my meniscus as well. But it's a side effect of tearing the major ligaments in your knee. So he probably tore maybe his MCL or his PCL, as well as his meniscus, because he obviously could not move very well. Miko Buka, really good performance here. I feel like he really gave me the win. Baker, I can account on him. He fell and to a far round, and I was so happy because I was stacking running backs. This league is just so, everyone loves running backs here, and they're just so consistent if you can find a good one. So I'm glad I have my team, and I'm glad they brought me a win this week. Moving over to the ones that really almost punched me in the gut. Right here. I mean, obviously that's not like, I mean, someone has to win, but it just doesn't feel good. I mean, my Saquon, James Cook, they did great. But Nico's going to have to step up. I'm thinking about getting rid of Purdy. We're going to get into who my replacements are going to be. And I think that Njoku, he really disappointed me this week. Harold Fannin right here, the rookie tight end. He had twice as many receptions as him. I mean, Njoku had 6 targets, 3 catches. Missing 3 catches, man, that's not good either. I'm not saying he dropped them, but if the rookie's doing good and you're lagging behind, you got to step up. Speaking of stepping up, Hollywood Brown here, man, he did a really good job for me. I'm bringing him up to the top. I might even consider using him as draft trade, capacity, because I got Zay Flowers here too. Plenty of wide receivers to play with. Nico Collins can drop back down. Breland Allen, Nick Chubb didn't do much for me on the bench, but Michael Pittman, I can throw him up there too. I have plenty of wide receivers in this league to play around with. It's honestly my fault. I probably could have switched in with Nico right there for a great receiver. But I also got to give some credit to this guy over here. Just a solid team, man. His wide receivers, Marvin, Laporta, T, Justin. They all did good, man. Consistent. You got to give them some credit there. T did better than freaking Jamar Chase did. Right here, my big league, Jamar Chase, 2 points. Number 1 draft pick. 1-1. First pick, first round. Hopping over to my third league. Yep, you're reading that right. I lost another one by less than 1 point. This one by 0.08 points. If Bo Nix may have been better than 6.84, this would have been a better game. I may have won. And if my defense may have scored 1 point, I may have won. Matter of fact, I do have 2 better scorers on my bench. So we're going to take the GM fault here. Also, Zach Ertz, great game. I'm glad I picked him up in a couple leagues. It's good to have these veterans, man. I mean, like fantasy-wise, these guys that are putting out like those 8 to 10 points every single year, if they're hanging out on these draft boards, man, just pick them up. Don't go for the risky, guy who you think's going to put you up 20 or slide him on the bench and maybe he'll get you 20 later. Get these guys that are consistent, like Zach Ertz, man. He really did good here. And also shout out to Garrett Wilson. My receivers here are putting on. Everyone besides Amon, he did not put on. Kenneth Walker needs to step up, but I think that's just kind of the Seattle thing right there too. It wasn't a crazy game offensively for them. Back to some good news before you guys start thinking that I just lose all my fantasy football games. Although I'm 2 for 4 this week, we got a good one here. I dominated this guy here. 163 to 121 feels good. This fantasy league, I feel like this is an 18-person league. Crazy. I'm one of the higher scorers in here, so I like it. But I'm also one of the higher scorers in both of these leagues too. Both around 106. Oh, wow. 153 points. Mustafa, good for you, brother. But in this league over here, the one I lost by less than 1 point, I am the third highest scorer. But here as well, I think I'm the third highest scorer. 170, 163. Yep, in 173 and 177. I'm the third highest scorer in this one. In this one, and I even had Dak at quarterback. But I have a bunch of guys here who are just racking up points. Cortland Sutton, Puka Nakua, Jameis Winston, he can move down. Amika Buka, glad he fell to me. And then my linebackers were doing great. I've never really played a defensive position league. Excuse me. And as someone who played defense, as a football player growing up, I feel like that's kind of crazy. And I'm glad I'm playing in one now because I love paying attention to NFL defenses, especially players. I mean, these guys are really impressive. They're specimens. These guys just fly around and smack people for a living. I mean, their job is to just hit people as hard as possible. Imagine that being your job and getting paid, a couple $1,000,000 a year, or if not tens of $1,000,000 a year. Some of these guys are getting paid very well. Down here on my bench, man, I got some great guys. Quentin Johnson. Ooh, glad I picked him up. Debo. Glad I picked him up. Debo's health concerns, man, whatever that was, he's back, man. I don't know why. Look at that, man. He looks phenomenal. Healthy, man. Feed him the ball. Put him on the end around. Give it to him. I like it. Popping over here, man, I just want to show y'all like something that I've been using to kind of analyze all my NFL stuff. And this NFL Pro. I bought NFL Plus for the year, which just includes Red Zone. It's $100, and I can also watch it on my laptop. I can watch it on my phone. And it's really nice because I can just kind of watch. I think I can get like 85% of the NFL games just right there, especially when I'm on the go. I'm in the car. I can just throw it on and, play the audio and have, at least the broadcast listening to something. I love listening to football. I don't mind if I'm not watching it. Listening is just fine. But what I'm pointing at here is that these box scores and just having this all in like one format and like an ability to see all the scores and like team outputs and everything. This is like very impressive to me, and it helps me with like my fantasy because I love looking at like teams systematically instead of players, because I feel like players are very nice, but teams are very systematic in how they operate, and they're good if you're swapping players out, and that's where you find great players on the waivers that are moving to good teams and moving to good systems, because if they fit right, they'll be great. Right here, just an example, I like to point out that like on the Buffalo Bills, rushing attempts over here, Josh Allen, 14 rushing attempts. James Cook, 13 rushing attempts. Their quarterback is carrying the ball more than the running back for them. The narrative here is that Lamar Jackson is a running back. Let's look over to the other side. Lamar Jackson, 6 carries. Derrick Henry, 18 carries. 3 times the amount of carries Derrick Henry has. Both of them have about 10 yards a carry, though. Lamar Jackson might be a running back. He might be a damn good running back, but he's not running the ball as much as Josh Allen. And I think this is why Josh Allen is just such a good fantasy quarterback. I mean, if you're running the ball 14 times, you're not getting the 0.05 points per passing yard. You're getting the 1 point per rushing yard. And he's really picking them up here. But he's, half as many yards as Lamar Jackson. But he does have another touchdown there. You got to give him that. Other than that, I'd like to look at these outputs. This is kind of what I was talking about, like systematically. You can see things here, like surprisingly, the Colts, the Jets, the Chargers, the Commanders, in the top of the Raiders, in the top, the Jaguars, in the top 10 offensive outputs. I mean, these guys all have over 350 yards of offense generated last week. Why? I mean, these would be great pickups on your team. Let's scroll to the bottom just so we can see the opposite. Tennessee Titans, Cincinnati Bengals, Miami Dolphins, Seattle Seahawks, Giants, Lions, Panthers. Coincidentally, all these teams lost last week. I mean, ask me what they all have in common. Chiefs are up there. And then also, Chiefs are up there, but they played they played a close game. Browns are up there. Wow, that's impressive. But what I'm pointing out here is that these, almost putting up 500 yards per game for the Bills is very impressive. You want Bills receivers. You want Bills players on your team because you can count for about 80 yards there. It's not like Josh Allen's throwing 250 yards to one person or running 250 yards himself. He only had the rock for about, 35. Other than that, there's a bunch of insights here. I have it right here to a bunch of Chiefs players. I mean, they'll even draw you up some plays, man. They'll show you guys where these guys are running routes. They'll show you where they're good. They'll show you what they're good against. I mean, they're showing you right here what the Chargers defense does to them. You can look at different games. And I just think this is so helpful, man. If you like football and you like analytics, man, this is just lovely. The next gen stats, it's something. It is next gen. I really got to give it some credit here. I'm not getting paid at all. I promise you, I ain't getting paid one bit, but this is some cool stuff, and you guys should check it out. I mean, if you're a football fan, this is impressive. Other than that, man, I just wanted to hop in to kind of some of my fantasy pickups this week for player-wise. Just take a little drink real quick. I'm not used to talking this much. So let's get in here, man. Just player-wise, quarterbacks, I'm out on Bo Nix, man. He's gone. And he's not in my league that I need to play my transactions in. But I'm going to use this league as a pickup kind of thing because I feel like this league is a good representation of how most people's leagues would have players available. And there's going to be a couple that you guys that are already going to be picked up, especially if you're in a 12-person league. But this is a 10-person non-PPR league, just to point that out to you all. So right here, I'm just going to go to quarterbacks. Up here, you have J.J. McCarthy, who could be a solid pick. Someone already has Justin Fields on their team. That would be my pickup this week, all day. And that's actually who I think I'm going to look for in my Bo Nix league. He's right here. And this is my Brock Purdy league. I am 4th on the waivers. So I think I can probably get him out there. Justin Fields would be a great pickup there. Caleb Williams is out here, but I feel like the ceiling on Justin Fields is very high. They're playing Buffalo next week. I'm not going to start him, but we're going to figure something out there. I just don't think Bo Nix is the guy. He's got Sean Payton, but they're going to be playing some tough teams coming up. They're playing the Chargers. They're going to have to play the Raiders. They're going to have to play the Chiefs soon, twice. But other than that, man, I'm not really too big on the quarterbacks. I mean, Michael Penix is available in here, but I'm not too heavy on Trevor Lawrence either. Except they are playing Cincinnati next week, which could be a good lock right there. I like Jacksonville versus Cincinnati this week. Wide receiver wise, Quentin Johnson, man, if he's out there, go pick him up. Quentin Johnson's going to be an incredible receiver this year. He is sharing the room with Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey. But if Ladd McConkey can come in last year as a rookie and dominate and do all this, they can bring him in as well 2 years ago as a draft pick and bring Quentin Johnson to what they thought he would be. He's a huge frame guy, big red zone guy, and that's where fantasy points matter. These red zone catches, just getting around guys, giving them a hit. Ladd's a great receiver. Don't get me wrong. He looks great, and he's probably one of the greater receivers in the league. Great value to him. But Quentin Johnson, he's going to be great for your fantasy team. Romeo Doubs might be a good pickup too. Michael Pittman hanging around here. Michael Pittman scored 16 points in the last fantasy game. 8 targets, 6 receptions, 80 yards, and a touchdown. give that to him, man. That's a good day for a receiver. I like that. Jaden Reed, he's okay, but yeah, just like this, always hurt. Did not practice on Monday. Probably won't practice all week. Keon Coleman's out here, like we were talking about. Output for Buffalo. If you got some Buffalo receivers hanging around here, pick them up, man. 21 points this week. 11 targets, man. Josh Allen is slinging the ball. Give them some money, man. Come on. Give these guys some credit. These high output offenses, man. You got to get them out there. Let's see where the Minnesota Vikings are in rankings here. Looks like the stats have not been added on there yet. That's why I hadn't seen them. That's why I knew I didn't saw it. But anyways, hopping back in here, man. Wide receiver wise, Quentin Johnson, great pickup. Wan'Dale Robinson, be careful, man. This is like I'm talking about. This is not an output offense. They don't have even a quarterback right now. So be careful. Do not be picking up any Giants receivers right now. I wouldn't even go for that. Travis Hunter, he's out here. Possibly a good pickup. This guy, he looked good the other day. Only 3 points, but 6 receptions for 35 yards. And if he starts getting out there, this guy's got some ceiling, man. I like him a lot, actually. Jacoby Myers, maybe not a bad pickup. 8 for 10, 97 yards. Wow. These can be some good pickups. Other than that, man, Calvin Austin, Aaron Rodgers out in the Steelers, he's slinging it. And as a 2 or 3 inside option, when Aaron Rodgers just needs to toss it out there, Calvin Austin can be there for him. Guys I'd stay away with are like I said, like Wan'Dale Robinson, D-Hop, or Boutte. Like these guys, if they're playing a bad team, I could possibly see a pickup. But, you got to be careful because these guys just have so much competition. Like D-Hop has Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. And he's got a great running back and a great quarterback that are trying to do stuff as well. So there's just too much competition there. And I hate that, like with the wide receiver. That's the last thing you want. Tight end wise, I feel like there's some really valuable tight end picks this week that you can go and snipe. Noah Fant is a really nice one. He might outperform Mike Gesicki in an offense that didn't do anything. An offense that did like 140 yards, this guy had like 60 of them. In an offense that has Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all these guys, Noah Fant had the most receiving yards. So let's get Noah Fant some credit here. I think he could be a great one. Jake Tongues for the 49ers, great pickup here, man. I think he could do something. Kittle's hurt, and Kittle just plays like what I was talking about in one of these systematic offenses. So if you can get him out there, he could do something for your team. Other than that, I got Jonnu Smith, a little bit of potential here, but I'd be wary. Although I was speaking a little highly on Aaron Rodgers, you never know where he'll be in about 8 weeks. So always be careful of that. Over here, I got Juju up here. He might slide into a number 2 spot, so he could be worth something. I love sliding over here to the score section, seeing what guys have scored, sorting it by that, because it's really nice to get guys off. It's not doing it correctly. Okay, here we are. Oh, we already changed the week too. Okay, sorry. In the meantime of me recording this, everything's changed over. I am 0-1 in here, 4th of 5. And we are on the waiver list already. I like this. I can start picking guys up. But we're not going to do that. Running back wise, I got to point out Samson, clear number 1 in Cleveland. This guy's a rookie, so obviously he could do anything. But if you can find Dylan Sampson, I just pick him up, man. If you need a third running back or you're not sure about your third running back, Dylan Sampson's your guy this week. Stay clear of Rashad White. And then maybe another guy I'd pick up would be Basil Tutton. Jacksonville just traded their main running back. So they traded Tank Bigsby. So, this guy could step up to be a clear number 2. And he had a couple carries. What was it? 3 carries, 11 yards. So obviously they're okay with giving him the ball as a rookie. Other than that, there's not much I have on clarity for running backs. Probably next week there'll be a couple more injuries or reasons for you to pick up a running back but honestly for this week it looks like most teams had pretty set running backs. And if you didn't draft a running back high, that's kind of what got you there. Defensive wise, I'm heavy on the Cardinals. They're playing New Orleans. I'm heavy on the Rams, who are playing the Titans. The Chargers, I think that could be a very good pickup. They probably haven't been picked up before, and they're playing the Raiders. And then the Patriots are playing Miami. Miami just stinks right now, but the Patriots do too. So kind of various on that one. But just because a team stinks doesn't mean their defense can't be good. Kicker-wise, McManus. Green Bay's good. They're going to score a lot of points, so why not? He was 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Schrader, kind of the same story, man. I mean, if the Colts are going to be scoring, if the Colts are going to be putting out points and getting people the ball, he was, 4 for 4 on his field goals and 3 for 3 on his extra points. That's a good day. Tyler Loop, he missed his extra point from the Ravens. I'd stay away from him. Replacing Justin Tucker is, a hard job. But I think that it's not something you draft a kicker over. Get these guys like Boswell, and those will be your guys. Really that's all I have for this week, man. I'm really pumped for Thursday when I show you guys my picks. And maybe win some bets this week. I'm really going to do some studying over the next few days and to do better preparation for my betting side of things. I feel like I gave a lot of time to my fantasies with draft preparation, and I need to spend a little more time on the betting front, especially player props. I lost a lot of money in that realm of things, and especially on the Chiefs too, man. I got to stop being biased. But that just comes with times. I've only been betting for a couple years. I feel like I've really got to get down to the math instead of being like, hey, I like the Chiefs in this game because I'm a Chiefs fan. But I do feel like it's fun to bet that way. Just coming up for this week too, man, I found out I'm going to the Chiefs game on Sunday. Chiefs versus Eagles, man. I think this is going to be crazy, man. Super excited for that opportunity. I'm going to be taking a little bit of film at the game, sharing it with you all, using that as a little bit of recap. And I'm going to be doing kind of a live too when I'm there. So, be ready for that, y'all. And if you made it all the way through, I just please leave a like, subscribe. It means a lot to me, man. Like every time someone clicks that like button, every time someone clicks that subscribe, I get a notification, and it makes me feel so warm and happy. And if you got any feedback, man, leave a comment. Good or bad, let me know. If the mic's shit, if I'm not, working the computer well, if you guys want to see more of something, let me know, man. Super excited for more episodes, and I'll see y'all Thursday.